Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Tuesday, February 10th, 2015. This is Texan TV News from Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas. I am Denise Harroff. Today's top story, in campus news, the resignation of one of three coaches, defensive coordinator Henry Kofer, was announced yesterday by the Tarleton Athletic Communications Department. Offensive coordinator Justin Carrigan resigned over a week ago to become the first head coach at Texas Permian Basin in Odessa, and he has hired Tarleton defensive assists Chris Mineo and Jacob Martin as co-defensive coordinators at UTPB. According to an interview with Nathan Burrell of the Athletics Communications Department, Coach Kerry Fowler will be taking over Kofer's duties. He added that he believes the coaches are looking forward to the future and not worrying about the past. Yesterday afternoon, Fowler told The Flash Today that assistant head coach Mason Miller is taking over as offensive coordinator and will continue coaching the offensive line. Receivers coach Jonathan Beasley has assumed the title of recruiting coordinator. Fowler says he expects to fill the remaining full-time positions on his staff soon. He is hiring a quarterback coach and passing game coordinator and also hiring a defensive line coach. Fowler said that they will hire either an outside linebackers coach or a cornerbacks coach, and he will coach the other position. He said he's always coached a position there, so he does not believe there will be any kind of major transition for them. On a brighter note, Saturday, Tarleton State University's Fine Arts Department put on performances of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Richard R. George as a part of their Young People series. Children from schools in the area came during the week to experience the talent of Tarleton students. Director and senior theater major Austin Long said that 3 weeks of preparation and more than 20 hours of practice were invested into this 50-minute performance that starred Braden Doty as Willy Wonka. Long added that the Clyde H. Wells Fine Arts Center hosted over 3,000 attendees during the shows. The Saturday morning performance housed audience members of all ages. In an interview with Long, he said he wanted the audience to experience something different than the movie. He didn't want them to see what they were expecting. With only 2 shows left in his college career, Long is preparing for the next show, The Drowsy Chaperone, a musical that shows February 25th through 28th in the Fine Arts Center. In regional news, 2 years ago, former Tarleton State University student Chris Kyle was killed on a shooting range at Rough Creek Lodge. Beginning tomorrow, Eddie Ray Routh, the man accused of killing Kyle, steps into the courtroom in Stephenville, Texas for his trial. Kyle attended Tarleton from 1992 to 94 before 4 tours in Iraq as a Navy sniper. Kyle quickly became known as one of the nation's deadliest snipers. Recently, February 2nd has been dedicated to Kyle by Governor Greg Abbott in Texas as Chris Kyle Day in his remembrance. Also, the release of American Sniper, a movie about Kyle's life, has brought more attention to the trial than was expected. Stephenville is currently housing multitudes of reporters and news media as the trial begins. Texan News Service had the opportunity to interview Kyle prior to his death about his time as a sniper. In Kaylee Bedingfield's interview with Kyle, he said when he first came home, he wasn't in a good place yet, in his life or in his head. He added that since he definitely got his head straight, since then, he definitely got his head straight and got back to where he should be. He also said that taking friends from the Navy to shoot guns helped in their healing process after traumatic experiences. The trial of Routh versus the state of Texas begins tomorrow and is continuing for the following weeks here in Stephenville. And now, today's Texas, national, and international news from the Associated Press. In Texas news, a lawmaker has proposed legislation intended to fix issues created by a 2011 law he authorized that makes crime scene DNA testing difficult for convicts. With the help of senior staff attorney Nina Morrison, Democratic Senator Rodney Ellis wrote both the 2011 bill and the new proposal. Ellis detailed his new bill at a press conference Monday with the Innocence Project and several former inmates who have been exonerated. Since the Texas law that permits post-conviction DNA testing was implemented in 2011, DNA testing has cleared 52 people who were wrongfully convicted of a crime and has helped identify the actual criminals in 21 of those cases. The bill would clarify the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, which currently states that a convicted person may request testing of evidence containing biological material. The change would permit testing on evidence that is reasonably likely to contain biological material, including items such as skin cells and sweat. In national news, 19-year-old Gregorio Orostieta from Kennett Square, Pennsylvania, was charged yesterday with homicide after an autopsy found his girlfriend, 18-year-old Carly Hall from Chadds Ford, Pennsylvania, had been severely beaten and strangled. Hall, a Millersville University freshman, was found dead in her dorm room. The couple had been dating about 11 months. After first calling the police, faking CPR, and claiming Hall had a heart attack, Orostieta was questioned by police. He then admitted that he shoved Hall, causing her to fall and hit her head on a chair. And then he gave her a backhand to the face, according to the affidavit. A prosecutor said that during the struggle, Hall fought for her life. The dorm's video surveillance confirmed that no one else entered or left during the time when the struggle was heard in the dorm room. According to the affidavit and what Orostieta told police, he and Hall argued at a party Saturday night and she hit him. They made up before returning to the dorm at around 1:30 a.m. where they argued again. Witnesses reported hearing yelling and the sound of furniture moving between 2 and 2:30 a.m. around the time authorities believe Hall was killed. Police found Hall unresponsive when they arrived at Bard Hall after getting the 911 call at about 5 a.m. An outdoor memorial took place for Hall last night at Millersville University. In international news, a powerful explosion rocked a chemical plant and set it on fire yesterday outside the separatist stronghold of Donetsk in eastern Ukraine, where fierce fighting has surged despite a renewed diplomatic push for peace. In Washington, President Barack Obama held talks with German Chancellor Angela Merkel about reviving an elusive Ukraine peace plan. No casualties or damage were immediately reported from the huge blast, which the rebels said was hit by a government shelling. The city lies in the middle of Ukraine's industrial heartland, and explosions like this have long been feared. Both the U.S. and Germany has emphasized a need to resolve the conflict through diplomacy, but the escalation of fighting has led the White House to reconsider its opposition to sending lethal aid to Ukraine. In sports, Texas Tech Athletic Director Kirby Hocutt from Sherman, Texas, was appointed to the College Football Playoff Selection Committee yesterday. He has previously been athletic director at Ohio University and Miami. He took over at Texas Tech in 2011. Hocutt will replace Oliver Luck, the former West Virginia athletic director, who has moved to a position with the NCAA. Hocutt said he spoke with Luck about his experience on the first selection committee. He also said he had talked numerous times with Arkansas athletic director and committee chairman Jeff Long. At 43, Hocutt will become the youngest member of the selection committee. In weather, the hose has been turned back on full force over Northern California. A stream of moisture is flowing over the drought-riddled state and dropping copious amounts of rain just days after the close of one of the driest Januaries on record. The influx of much-needed rain comes courtesy of a feature called an atmospheric river that is a key source of much of the state's precipitation and water supply. These ribbons of water in the sky are something scientists are trying to better understand. They are flying research planes into the heart of the current storm to study what fuels it, which could help improve forecasts of the events. Today's broadcast was produced by Bailey Gregory and Macy Michaelwitz. You can watch Texan TV News live Monday through Friday at 12:30 p.m. and on Northland Cable Channel 9. Don't forget to tell your friends about us and become a fan of Texan TV News on Facebook. I am Denise Harroff. Tune in tomorrow for the latest news from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas.